Hello everyone. So in the previous lecture, we saw different properties of complex number, their results and different algebra of complex number. Okay, so now we will see different forms of complex numbers. Okay, so there are different forms of complex numbers. Cartesian form, polar form, exponential forms, etc. So in Cartesian form, z is always equivalent to x plus iy. Polar form, whenever z is equal to x plus iy, you have to substitute x equal to r cos theta and y equal to r sin theta. So if we substitute this value in this equation, then we get z equal to, we can take r common, so cos theta plus I sin theta. And also we get x square plus y square equal to r square. Okay. So r is equivalent to under root of x square plus y square. Because whenever you will put this whole x square plus, whenever you will add x square and y square, then cos square theta plus sin square theta is 1. So you will get x square plus y square is equivalent to r square. Now the third form of a complex number is exponential form. Here z is equal to r cos theta plus I sin theta, but this term cos theta plus I sin theta, that is equivalent to e raised to I theta, or if it is minus cos theta plus, if the minus sign is there, cos theta minus I sin theta, then it is equivalent to e raised to minus I theta. So we can write that, here we can write that z equal to r, here positive sign is there, so z equal to r e raised to I theta, because in place of this you can write e raised to I theta, so we get z equal to r e raised to I theta. The fourth form is circular function. Here cos theta, value of cos theta is equivalent to e raised to I theta plus e raised to minus I theta upon 2, and value of sin theta is equivalent to e raised to I theta minus e raised to minus I theta divided by 2i. So here difference between cos theta and sin theta is, here positive sign is there and here negative sign is there, but in denominator in cos theta we have 2 and in sin theta we have 2i. So that is the main difference between cos theta and sin theta in circular functions. Okay, so property 5. Fifth property is modulus and argument of complex number. So for understanding that, let z equal to x plus iy be any complex number, and if x is equal to r cos theta and y is equal to r sin theta, then we can get z equal to r cos theta plus I sin theta, which we have seen in this property in the in polar form, that is similar. But here this r is called the modulus or absolute value of z. Okay, this r is called modulus or absolute value of z, and it is denoted by mod of z, or you can write mod of z. And this theta is called argument or amplitude of z, and it is denoted by arg z or amplitude z. So we can say that mod of z is equivalent to r, and r is equivalent to under root x square plus y square. According to this property, r is equivalent to under root x square plus y square. So we can write here mod z equal to r, and r is equivalent to under root x square plus y square. And argument of z is equivalent to theta, and theta is equivalent to tan inverse y by x. Okay, so these are the formulas of mod z and arg z. Okay, now this is important. The value of theta lying between minus pi and pi is called principal value of argument z, and it is denoted by capital A arg z. Okay, here you have to write capital A arg z. Principal value of argument is denoted by argz, and A is capital here, while here A was small. So thus we can say that small argz is equivalent to 2n pi plus capital argz, where n is any integer, n can be any integer. Okay. Now we will see properties of modulus. Earlier we have seen properties of complex numbers, but these are the properties of modulus. Okay, so property number 1 is mod of z1 z2 is equivalent to mod of z1 multiplied by mod of z2. That is separate modes. Okay, that is so mod of z1 z2 is equivalent to separate modes of z1 and z2. Similarly, arg of z1 z2 is equivalent to arg of z1 plus arg of z2. Then property 2 is modulus of z1 divided by z2 is equivalent to mod of z1 divided by mod of z2, and arg of z1 divided by z2 is equivalent to arg of z1 minus arg z2. Third property is arg of z is equivalent to negative of arg z conjugate. Fourth property is mod of z1 plus z2 is always less than or equal to mod of z1 plus mod of z2. Mod of z1 minus z2 is always greater than equal to mod of z1 minus mod of z2. And the last property is arg of z raised to n is equivalent to n arg z. You have to take this n here, so you get n arg z. Now we will see to calculate principal value of argument. How we can calculate principal value of argument. So for that, there are different conditions. So whenever x is greater than 0 and y is greater than 0, that is whenever x and y both are positive, then you always have to write arg of z is equivalent to tan inverse y divided by x. And here, as both are positive, we can say that its value will lie in the first quadrant. Okay. So second property is whenever x is less than 0 but y is greater than 0, then it will be in the second quadrant, and during that time, whenever you are given x, whenever x is negative, whenever in the given question when x is negative and y is positive, you always have to apply this formula. That is arg of z is equivalent to pi minus tan inverse mod of y upon x. Here also there is mod, okay. And in the third property, if x is less than 0 and y is less than 0, then you have to apply this property. That is when both are negative, they lie in the third quadrant. During that time they lie in the third quadrant, and you have to apply this property, that is pi plus tan inverse mod of y upon x, or you have to write minus pi plus tan inverse mod of y divided by x. And the last property is whenever it lies in the fourth quadrant, that is if x is greater than 0 and y is less than 0, that is whenever in the given question x is positive and y is negative, you have to apply this formula, because it lies in the fourth quadrant. X and y lies in the fourth quadrant because x is positive and y is negative. So during that time you have to apply this formula, that is arg of z is equivalent to minus tan inverse mod of y divided by x. Okay, and it is important to note that arg z1 z2 is not equivalent to arg z1 plus arg z2. So arg z1 z2 is not equivalent to the separate arg z1 and arg z2. Okay, so in next lecture we will see the different examples of principal argument and modulus. So thank you everyone. I hope you all liked my video lecture. Thank you.